Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins.
Copyright disclaimer. This content does not belong to Bible Chronicles or claim this intellectual property. The content provided today has and always will belong to the content owner. Bible Chronicles does not have any affiliation with the owner of this property. As mentioned, Bible Chronicles did not intend to make use of any material for the purpose of harvesting gain. However, Title 17 of United States copyright law states material and use can only be done when it's for theological or general educational purposes, and thus Bible Chronicles believes that this principal material falls under fair use, which honors protection under Section 107 of the same U.S. copyright law.
Si preguntan quién soy, qué llevo, a dónde voy, de Tierra Santa. Soy de donde nací, donde voy a morir, mi Tierra Santa.
Hey. Yo soy la tierra, la sangre, los sueños, las ganas, el hambre, la luz en los ojos de mi santa madre. Hechos de barro, de rama, del viento, de huelche de carne. El sol cae en mi brazo por la tarde. Si preguntan quién soy mi tierra, curtida de gobierno, de estafa, de guerra. Soy el hornero mostrando la sala, la vida, la muerte, la pluma y la bala. La soledad del rico, el sueño del pobre. La verdad es que el gobierno no se esconde. Las huellas perdidas, el cuándo y el dónde. Ninguna dictadura va a poder borrar mi nombre. Porque al futuro vengo de Tierra Santa. Latinoamericano llora, canta. Tengo la sonrisa celeste y blanca. Si subo la mirada, la luna se levanta. Yo voy al futuro, vengo de Tierra Santa. Latinoamericano llora, canta. Tengo una sonrisa celeste y blanca. Si subo la mirada, la luna se levanta. Mi cicatriz, mi historia, mi fama, mi gloria. Mi pena por panas desaparecido, memoria. Va por los guachos, carnales, puñetas, gurises, chapales. Al mundo le tiembla el piso por la euforia. Busco la paz en Bolivia, las calles de Chile. Me busco en invierno el aguardiente de Colombia. Vengo del barrio del tango y llego al meridiano para borrar con la mano la línea divisoria. Si preguntan quién soy, qué llevo, a dónde voy, soy de Tierra Santa. Soy de donde nací, donde voy a morir, mi Tierra Santa. Si preguntan quién soy, qué llevo, a dónde voy, soy de Tierra Santa. Soy de donde nací, donde voy a morir, mi Tierra Santa.
preguntan quién soy de tierra.
Yo vine al mundo a defender mi tierra, soy el salvador pacífico en la guerra, me voy a morir luchando, estoy firme como un venezolano, soy Atacama, Guaraní, Cochabamba, Tucano. Si quieren tirarme el país, lo levantamos. Los indios construimos los imperios con las manos, voy al futuro, vengo con mis hermanos, de diferentes padres pero no nos separamos. Soy el fuego del Caribe y un guerrero peruano. Le doy gracias a Brasil por el aire que respiramos. A veces pierdo, a veces gano, pero no es en vano morirme por la tierra que amo. Y si los de afuera preguntan cómo me llamo, mi nombre es latino y mi apellido americano. Si preguntan quién soy, qué llevo, a dónde voy, soy de Tierra Santa. Soy de donde nací, donde voy a morir, mi Tierra Santa. Si preguntan quién soy, que llevo, a dónde voy, soy de Tierra Santa. Soy de donde nací, donde voy a morir, mi Tierra Santa.
Mis cicatrices, mi historia, mi fama, mi gloria, mi pena por panas desaparecidos, memoria.
Del mar los vieron llegar, mis hermanos emplumados serán los hombres barbados de la profecía esperada. Se oyó la voz del monarca de que el Dios había llegado y les abrimos la puerta. Por temor a lo ignorado, iban montados en bestias, como demonios del mal, iban con fuego en las manos y cubiertos de metal. Solo el valor de unos cuantos les opuso resistencia, y al mirar correr la sangre se llenaron de vergüenza, porque los dioses ni comen ni gozan con lo robado. Y cuando nos dimos cuenta, ya todo estaba acabado, y en ese error entregamos la grandeza del pasado, y en ese error nos quedamos 300 años esclavos. Se nos quedó el maleficio de brindar al extranjero nuestra fe, nuestra cultura, nuestro pan, nuestro dinero, y le seguimos cambiando oro por cuentas de vidrio, y damos nuestras riquezas por sus espejos con brillo. Siglo XX nos siguen llegando rubios y les abrimos la casa y los llamamos amigos. Pero si llega cansado un indio modo de andar la sierra, lo humillamos y lo vemos como extraño por su tierra. Hipócrita que te muestras humilde ante el extranjero, pero te vuelves soberbio con tus hermanos del pueblo. Oh, maldición de Malinche, enfermedad del presente, ¿cuándo dejarás mi tierra? ¿Cuándo harás libre a mi gente?
Viene a decirnos con mucha firmeza y gran convencimiento lo mismo que nos decía en el siglo XVIII el barón de Holbach, ¿no? Un filósofo francés de origen alemán. Si nos remontamos al comienzo, entonces hallaremos que la ignorancia y el temor crearon a los dioses. La fantasía, el entusiasmo o el engaño los adornaron o desfiguraron. La debilidad les rinde culto, la credulidad los conserva, la costumbre los respeta y la tiranía los apoya para que la ceguera de los hombres sirva a sus propios intereses.
Yeah, I guess we are on, bro. I guess it works. All right, man, let's get fucking to it, bro. Because it is 9:14, it is Saturday, and I'm sure you guys aren't trying to stay up all night listening to my fucking long-winded ass and shit. I get it. Europeans will never be indigenous. I don't know what that is. Is that a dragon? I think so. Mi familia!
A ver, que alguien me explique.
Good to have you here, sis. What up? Where? Hey, I grew up in Pozole Town. I never gangbanged, bro, but I knew a few of the brothers out there, and I would trip out in the way they talk. No, I grew up in the 80s, 90s, right? So it's like, hey, Holmes, it was up, dog. Hey, what up, dog? You know what I mean? Like, yo, you know what I'm saying? So it's like when I hear word or like say word or like word, it's just funny shit, dude. What up, Brown Ray, dude? Good to have you, bro. All right, so let's get it started. All right, let's get it fucking going. The untold mystery of Negros helping the Spanish elite. Why am I doing this? Because we have people here that actually fucking believe their bullshit. And they'll come to my channel and post it. Right? Because this is the class that I did, right? 23 hours ago. Damn. Fuck, dude, give it a break. I'm kidding. Hey, listen, family, I'm fucking happy because like my business is growing, and it's growing honestly, and it's all because of my hard work. You know what I mean? Like, I put the fucking work in, bro. I get up early in the morning. I work from Monday through Saturday, and I fucking put the work in because I want my shit. Plus, I also want to leave something for my kids, So I'm very happy. I'm very thankful, which is why I did like at least 2-3 classes, because you know what? I didn't have to ask for money. I didn't want to rely on like, oh, please help me with my endeavor. Nah, fuck no. The truth of our indigenous bloodline historical facts should never cost you a fucking thing. You understand that, family? No one should charge you to teach you who you are. If anything, they should do it out of their fucking love for you. Okay? So I'm very happy that I write my own checks. And I've said it before, man, I want to learn how to make money, at least, be, productive and, learn some shit. You know who I am, bro. You guys got my number. Call me. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, dude, it's not easy money. You just got to work. That's it. And you could probably make like 20 grand a month or more. And this is not, dude, this is why, like, I don't ever talk about this shit, because people think like our gente is just a bunch of fucking beggars and we just rely on people and we don't have no fucking grit or gift or even a concept of like how to really make it big, right? They assume we're broke. They assume we're poor. Nobody even can think that 6 figures is, yeah. But when you don't talk about it all your entire life, the Most High, our Creator, blesses you with it. Those are facts. All I do all day is wear shorts and sandals, and my t-shirt. I don't have watches. I don't wear rings. I don't have necklaces. I don't need the material world. Why do I work hard? Because I want to leave something for my family. Because that's what I was taught, to leave a legacy. If you really believe in the Bible, which a lot of you guys do, because you follow this channel, then you would know that the scriptures talk about you leaving legacy behind. When you have a land, you give it to your kids. You don't make them start all over again. Not at all. Anyways, so listen, there's several people listening, and then all of a sudden, y'all motherfuckers skedaddled. Whatever. All right, so let's get to it. Enough about me, bro, because it ain't about me. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? The untold mystery of Negroes helping the Spanish elites. Because look, we have people that show up to this channel after the classes are done, and they'll say shit like this. This is what Benjamin Button says, all right? I think he's been here a few times already. So he says, false and half studied. So is it false or half studied? Anyways, you're grouping all blacks as one race from Africa, not taking into account that the multiracial ethnicity of blacks being here we go, fused. So this is like science bullshit, and then he'll try to, okay, let's continue. There's at least 5 races of who you so-called morenos or negros or blacks, and they were different from all different parts of the world. And here in America, pre-Columbus, and even though they were black, they were different peoples. So your foundation is built on falsity because you still haven't realized the spectrum of black race. All right, you're just making comments. It's funny though, because like this channel ain't for you. But again, you feel the need to continue with your fucking nonsense and shit. So let's continue. So here's where it got really interesting, family. People come to the channel and then they tell you that you're Siberian. Now he says there's black Siberians who actually crossed the Bering Strait. And Mongolia, Kham, Kush, or Kish, black Hindu, Champaten, black Pacific Ocean Polynesians, Hawaiian Melanesians, Australasians. They came by boats that's where you get your canoes. Then you had your black Europeans, black Eurasians, the Latinos mentioned in this video, black, Latin, English, and Viking, French, German, Italian. So everybody black. Took Europe from them, and the remainder black. So then I said, you forgot to mention that aliens are Negroes too. You also forgot to mention that y'all don't eat food nor drink water, but instead you photosynthesize rays to stay alive. I mean, come on, man. Egg, the Inca king list, whatever, this and that. So you see, you see what we're talking about. Then he goes, you said it, not me. It is highly likely Columbus is also whitewashed. He was a black man himself. A lot of histories, and you won't know until these old books, whatever, this and that, right? So somebody, some fucking dumbass, like gave him enough, thumbs up to do that, right? So this part right here, that supposedly he was a black man. You know how I can shut your ass down real quick, bro? And this is why the funny part is about you people, bro. There's a book called let me see, what is it called? Shit. Let me see. Hold on. Let me look. Hold on. A New Voyage to Italy. Okay. So we're gonna look for this page. We're gonna look for this page. I think it only makes sense to look for this page. Right? We're gonna look at a PDF file here real quick. See what you're looking at. Let me close some of these because it'll drag. Yeah, just save it. It'll drag it. All right, here we go. So here we have this book called, it's funny, man. A lot of you people just show up and you want to make comments. You don't even know your fucking own. It's just very interesting that you just don't catch your own bullshit. A New Voyage to Italy, okay? Volume 2, Part 1. Now, let me see if I can, and I tried to find this for y'all last time. And it's 142, that's right. Hold on, go back. Okay? So these are Christians exploring who the fuck these people are, so-called Jews, right? This guy said he's like blackity black in Europe. Okay. You see, the thing is, family, they want to get away from the fact that they helped the white man enslave people. They want to get away from the fact that they own slaves. This is why they want to throw a bunch of fucking salad bullshit to y'all. Get what I'm saying? Again, this is on page 142. Listen to this, okay? The Jews at Rome are very poor. Those who are poor are always nasty, and those who are nasty usually stink. That is the mystery. Then it says, this also a vulgar error that the Jews are all black. And they don't mean black like as in African, because negro was the concept at that time, not woolly or cart, you know what I mean, like that, thick hair. Okay? It says here, Jews at Rome, I'm sorry, and this also vulgar error, for this is only true of the Portuguese Jews. Why? Because the Portuguese Jews were enslaving Africans. They were bringing Africans from Africa, buck breaking the shit out of them, mixing with them, saw their women with big butts, big butts, big tits, and said, fuck it, I might as well put it in there. Let me slide in that African shit. And see, this is a reality that you guys don't want to accept. That's why a lot of you come by, you're all excited, then you start hearing what I'm saying, then you fucking run away. Because it rings your ears so hardcore that it burns your soul. Why does it do that? You should ask yourself, not the messenger. It says, who marrying always among one another, beget children like themselves, and consequently the swarthiness of their complexion is entailed upon their whole race, even in the northern regions. We know that Portuguese were the first ones to be fucking enslaving. They were the nautical kings of that time. This is a historical fact. And most, if not all of them, were Sephardic Jews. And we're going to watch the video that talks about that too. I'm not just making it up. You see, I don't go and say, Google it. I don't go and say, hey, blah, 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 but no sources. It's just the way I feel. I don't work like that. It's not because of the way you feel. It's what it actually is. Then it says, some certainly complexion is entailed in the whole race. That's it. Hold on, let me read it again. Beget children like themselves, and consequently the swarthiness of their complexion is entailed upon their whole race, even in the northern regions. But the Jews who are originally of Germany, those, for example, I have seen at Prague, are not blacker than the rest of their countrymen. Though nobody can doubt that those of the Jewish nation are destitute of all authentic tradition. That as being Jews. They have not any particular knowledge either of the laws or customs of their ancestors. Now, why am I reading this when he said this? Because here's the reality, family. Estos pinches negros, güey, así lo voy a decir, cabrones. The reason they're saying all of this is because they want to be the Hebrews of the Bible. That's it. Ask any one of them. They want to be God's chosen people because they think they really fucking suffered. Like if you look at and listen to the people that come to your circle right now, they're no more than 60 years old. Were they alive in 200 years ago or 300 years ago? Were they actually there? No, they weren't. Now, there's a lot of documentation that shows that negros owned slaves. But they don't want you to know that. This is why they want to carpet their fucking customs all over everybody. And then they want to say that some Mongol is Kush. This is how stupid they are. This is why they don't get away from me. This is why they don't ever want to fucking debate me. Ever. And never will they debate me. You got to bring somebody that speaks Spanish on top of the fact that you got to bring somebody that is not just in the Bible. So they're saying Mongolia, Cam, Kush. So here they're saying you're Hamites. Why? Because they want to be Hebrews. How the fuck does he include Kush? Where the fuck does Kush come from? Does anybody know where Kush comes from? Yeah, that's right. From, anybody wants to know? Ham, Japhet, and Shem. Are you not seeing the obvious? You motherfuckers have no idea. I am so much smarter than you, bro. Do you not see what I see? You guys don't even know what the fuck you're literally saying it. Then my Mongolian, Kam, Kush, Kish, whatever, Black Hindu, that you're saying Hamites, right? Are you saying like that's who you are or is that who we are? But here's the funny part. Where the fuck do you even know about Cam or Kush? Where does that name come from? Is it historical? No. Like actual historical books? No. It's biblical. Now, who is Kush or Cam? Ham, he is the brother of the Japhets. He is the brother of the Shemitics. This is why they want to label all of y'all everything but Semitic because they want to be the Hebrews. They want to be the Hebrews. And you see, I'm way ahead of them. I'm so much fucking ahead of them, bro. It's just so funny, man. I don't know, bro. I don't know why I read patterns. I don't know why I notice little shit that I just don't even know why I fucking notice it, but I notice it. Okay? And this is exactly why I'm doing the class that I'm doing today. Because guess what? We're going to get into it, family. Let's get into it real quick. These are quick ones, and then we're going to get to a long video. We got some books, too. Hold on. Let's get to the nitty-gritty.
El esclavo que a punta de madrazos dejó claro que México no era tierra de agachones. En pleno siglo XVI, cuando la raza andaba medio jodida.
So then here's what the reason I'm sharing this video is because here's what they portrayed to you. Like, oh, a black man was enslaved and we fought back because fuck the white man. Okay, I'm just gonna let it play because this is what we were taught, right? Yet I'm going to show you otherwise.
Llegó un compa de nombre Yanga, un esclavo africano que los españoles trajeron a la Nueva España para joderlo. Pero este compa, Yanga, no era de los que se dejaba. Harto de que lo trataran como trapeador, se armó de valor y dijo, aquí nadie me manda. Y así, el vato empezó una rebelión que dejó a más de uno cagándose del susto. Durante años juntó a un chingo de esclavos fugados que también estaban hasta la madre y armaron su ejército, listos para partir madres. Los gachupines, queriendo hacerse los chingones.
Gachupines, in case you stupid motherfuckers don't know, they want to claim that we are Spaniards. Gachupines are the Spaniards. Gachupines are those Spaniards, black, white, that were obviously Ladino-ish, you know what I mean, assimilated to the Spanish world. And then that claim to be Mexicans, meaning of this land. Kind of like the Cracker Barrels that go around saying they're natives now. And you got to deport the immigrants. Same concept. Or FBA saying we was here first. Same concept. Let's continue.
Trataron de atraparlo 1000 veces, pero Yanga y su banda se les pelaban siempre en la pinche selva veracruzana. Se la rifaba tanto con sus tácticas que los conquistadores ya ni sabían por dónde les llegaba el madrazo.
It's like history. Oh my God, yo, he's such a great warrior, bro. Dude, like for real, bro. Like for real? For real, bro. Okay, let's find out if it's for real. For real? For real. Okay? Let's find out if it's for real.
Los historiadores afirman que entre 250.000 y 500.000 africanos fueron traídos como mano de obra servil, de manera legalmente regulada al virreinato de la Nueva España. La última cifra es considerada la más probable, dado que se sabe que una gran cantidad de ellos ingresaron al virreinato por medio del contrabando, es decir, sin que las autoridades fueran notificadas. Era el espíritu de los tiempos, y todas las potencias coloniales de la época practicaron esa deleznable actividad. En el caso de la América hispana, las leyes obligaban a bautizar a los siervos africanos a su llegada a los puertos del Nuevo Mundo. Se considera que el primer esclavo negro en llegar a México fue un hombre llamado Juan Cortés, quien lo hizo junto a los ejércitos del conquistador español Hernán.
He was helping holding Hernan Cortez's horse. Yet we got these negros from Africa claiming to be natives of these lands here that we came with Hernan. Or that we were immigrants or some fucking bullshit. You're going to find out. Let's continue, though. Let's continue.
Hernán Cortés en 1519. Hubo, sin embargo, cientos de negros y mulatos libres desde el inicio del periodo colonial, al grado que el rey de España, Felipe II, ordenó que estos pagaran impuestos como siervos de la corona desde la década de 1570. Aún después
From 1492 through 1570, so far, we find out that there was negros that had freedom, owned slaves, had encomiendas, and even because, you know, they were categorized as Spaniards, meaning Latinos, assimilated motherfuckers, right? Like they want you to be today, to their kind. You got to pay taxes because you're a Spaniard. Well, of course. Claro que sí. Claro que sí. Yo soy un moreno africano, pero estoy español bien 13. No te preocupen, mis hermanos. Nosotros somos españoles, pero soy un africano. I'm telling you, family. You've been fucking lied to for so long. So fucking long. This whole time you thought it was just a fucking blonde-haired, blue-eyed dude. No, not at all. And then you got idiots that say, oh, well, we were black everywhere. But ignoring the concept of slavery in the Americas done by these people towards our gente, and then they're saying that we didn't get through. So are you saying, negros, that these negros came here to do that to you? And if that's the case, who are these negros today? And what negros are you? Hold on.
de la independencia y subsecuente abolición de la esclavitud en México, entre 5.000 y 10.000 esclavos afrodescendientes cruzarían la frontera norte del país procedentes de los Estados Unidos en busca de su libertad. Los historiadores afirman que entre 250.000 y 500.000 africanos fueron traídos como mano de obra servil, de manera...
Como mano de obra servil. Como mano de obra servil. That's not, eso no significa que eres un esclavo, güey. Que vienes así como ayuda, cabrón. Que aquí vienes a echarle los perros también a esos cabrones, güey. ¿Sabes qué, señor? Si yo mato a este pinche indio, güey, me das el deseo de ser libre, con dinero, y me puedo llevar una de estas pinches indias a mi casa. Claro que sí, mi negrito. Tú nomás matas a esos pinches indios, güey. Y no te preocupes. That's exactly what fucking occurred.
Manera legalmente regulada al virreinato de la Nueva España. La última cifra es considerada la más probable, dado que se sabe que una gran cantidad de ellos ingresaron al virreinato por medio del contrabando, es decir, sin que las autoridades fueran notificadas. Era el espíritu de los tiempos, y todas las potencias coloniales de la época practicaron esa deleznable actividad. En el caso de la América hispana, las leyes obligaban a bautizar a los siervos africanos a su llegada a los puertos del Nuevo Mundo. Se considera que el primer esclavo negro en llegar a México fue un hombre llamado Juan Cortés, quien lo hizo.
See that once more. All right, let's move on. Okay. Listen to this real quick. Thank you, brother, for posting this. All right. And this goes to the root of like how much you've been abused, fam. U.S. boundaries, 1848. So, you know, they're celebrating 250 today, like this year, right? Oh my God, America, 250 years old. No, you're not 250 years old. Let's get that fucking straight. Florida wasn't part of your fucking 13 colonies in 1776. California Texas, Colorado, Oregon wasn't part of your fucking colonies in 1776. All of that shit fully happened after 1848, which basically means you're like 178 years old, maybe. Why the fuck you white people fluff all your fucking numbers? Just like an example, the majority of the people in this whole continent right here, the continent right here, especially in North America, which they call USA, the majority of the people are our people. The data shows it, but they don't want to tell you. They say that the whites are the majority. No, they're not. Just you motherfuckers don't vote. That's why you're not showing up. Let me read this. Thousands of Mexican families who had legally owned lands, legally, for generations, found themselves fighting cracker barrel courts just to keep property that was supposedly protected by the Treaty of Guadalupe, Hidalgo. Because technically, if you actually read it, then you will see it, right? Technically guaranteed property rights for Mexican landowners after the territory transfer. But in practice, many families spent years, sometimes decades, in costly legal battles against a new legal system stacked against them heavily. By who? The cracker barrels, the Republicans, several Democrats. And I don't mean white people, family. Negros too. Why the fuck you think they have property? Remember the Trail of Tears? You guys don't even hear about the land lotteries? Cherokee nations, they gave all that shit to white and black folks, bro. That's why I'm saying, like, black folks all of a sudden want reparations. Motherfuckers, you've been having reparations for a long time. You own slaves. What the fuck are you talking about? Listen, and we can go battle it, man. I'll debate that shit any day on any fucking channel. Why? Because the books don't lie. It's like this. You're either pregnant or you're not. There's no such thing as half pregnant. You either are having a baby or you ain't having a baby. This shit either happened or it didn't happen. Fuck you today, fuck you tomorrow, and fuck you forever if you're lying like this. Okay? Many families spent years, sometimes decades, in costly legal battles against new legal systems stacked heavily against them, ultimately losing lands that had belonged to their families for generations, 15, 1600. This slow bureaucratic erosion of property rights rarely gets the same attention as the war itself, despite reshaping land ownership across the entire American Southwest. Anybody want to think about like Dodger Stadium? Anyways, sometimes the most significant history isn't found in a single battle, but in what quietly happens in courtrooms for years. That's why when somebody said you Mexicans weren't taken all over the world, yeah, and I can prove it with court documentation. Listen, this is a small channel compared to the entire world. There's only 830 subscribers. Nobody gives a fuck about what I say. But I'm going to say something right now, that what I say is not a fucking lie. And no one is able to come to my channel and fucking debate me because they know I don't lie. 100%. Everything that I say, I share. And why do I share it? Because it's historical. It's not because of the way I feel. It's not because I have this agenda against certain people. My agenda, though, I will say it, it's about my people. That's all it is. All I care about is my people, my gente. That's it. Sorry. I'm sorry. You're not getting in the elevator. Go ahead and take care of yours. Because obviously, you've done it for years. You only cared of yours. You never cared of us. Ever. Not one fucking time. Not in your democratic civilization, not in your bullshit Republican agenda of like supposedly certain people are the ones taking your jobs. Nah, fuck no. Look, bro, we got whites and blacks owning slaves from 1492 all the way through 1865. And that's a fact. So now let's get into some history. And if it hurts your feelings, unsubscribe. I'm not here to fucking tickle your belly.
Mexico City, 1538. An elderly man with a weathered face and hands hardened by work sits down to dictate a letter. It is addressed to the king. He demands no honors, asks for no riches, simply remembers. He claims to have served in many parts and wars of this New Spain, and in each line he defends what he was. A soldier, a wheat farmer, an old Christian, a free man, and an African. That man's name was Juan Garrido, and no one better than him represents the real complexity of the Hispanic world of the 10th century. He lived on 3 continents, fought under 3 governors, survived battles, jungles, and unmapped journeys, and left his mark on the soil and on history. But he did not appear in books, and there are no statues of him. No one mentions him when they talk about Cortez, the conquest.
Bro, what up, bro? Spartacus. Man, I haven't talked to you in a bit, bro. I thought you were mad at me. I was like, ¿qué pasa, güey? Ya ni me hablas, cabrón. Anyways, good to have you here, bro.
Or Spanish America, and yet he was there. On the front lines. His is not a story of slavery, or redemption, or victimhood. It is a story of action, decision, and conquest. Garrido wasn't swept away by history, he wrote it, and this video is going to tell it to you like never before. Welcome to the Historia Hispania channel. But to understand it, we have to go back to the beginning, to a point on the map where there were no cities or cathedrals, where men set out with faith, hunger, and weapons. West Africa, late 15th century. He was born around 1480 in a region of the Gulf of Guinea, where local trade networks had already been in place for centuries and where the Portuguese were beginning to make their presence felt in the form of enclaves, exchanges, and baptisms. Lisbon at that time was not just a port for slaves, but also a port of opportunity for certain Africans. Men who, once baptized and educated, could serve in noble households, enlist in galleys, or even enter the service of the crown overseas. Garrido was one of those. He was neither a slave nor a fugitive. He was an African Christian who integrated into the Iberian imperial order and who, from within, chose to seek his fortune on the other side of the ocean. Around 1502, he embarked for Hispaniola, an island that had yet to be consolidated, recently reorganized by Nicolas de Ovando after the fall of Columbus' administration. There, in Santo Domingo, he began his American life. The Caribbean at the beginning of the 10th century was a hive of activity. The new towns founded by the Castilians were home to soldiers, friars, merchants, artisans, interpreters, and frontiersmen such as Juan Garrido. In this context, Garrido began to stand out as a man of arms.
Isn't it funny how they make it seem like, oh my God, that was so nice. They're friends. No, they're not. All right, now we're going to get into a deeper one. I found this video and, honestly, the translation is not as good, but it'll do good enough. These are people from Spain, okay? Spaniards showing exactly the history that they are very familiar with. See, family, it's fucking funny that Morenos want to come to this channel and they're like, oh, we were indigenous to this land and you guys are fucking fake. And we're like, okay, well, tell us about your fucking diet. What do you know about corn? Because, like, I don't see you guys even giving a fuck about that plant or that, beautiful, delicious, nutritious fucking ingredient that we all love in our foods. We don't see no isotopes in your shit. You don't know about tejuino. You don't know about, like, what? I don't even understand why you even try to go assume some shit. I know for a fact that you're doing it because of your weakness as a nation. I know that you don't like the fact that you are Canaan, which is why you brought up Cush. I know that you don't like the fact that you will never be what you want to be. You had your chance and it's done. You will never be in power again. You are not the chosen people of God. He doesn't have nappy hair or woolly or whatever the fuck you want to call it. He is not black. There's no such thing as a Jesus. And you black folks and whites, specifically you two nations that claim to be natives, really believe in Jesus, which is fake. So now let's get a better perspective of exactly what you're talking about and what you've been hiding for so long. Again, if it was really only white folks that did what they did, I wouldn't be doing this. I'd be like, yeah, man, fuck yeah. It was fucking gringos. Pero no, cabrones. You were involved too. The untold mystery of Negros helping Spanish elites. Let's begin.
Well, I don't think I'm exaggerating if I say that 90% of slave ships are Portuguese and English. The cradle of humanity in Europe is Spain, right? I mean, we shouldn't forget that North Africa was all Christianized Roman provinces, right? St. Augustine was an African, and Spain didn't conquer Tun, right?
Hear what he said, by the way. He said St. Augustine was a what? Hold on.
St. Augustine was an African, and
St. Augustine was an African. Who is St. Augustine? Okay. St. Augustine, also known as a St. Augustine, was a Christian theologian, philosopher, and bishop whose work profound shaped the Western Christianity and philosophy. Born in Rome, North Africa. So when you guys try to claim BHI, ISUPK, IUIC, all of you stupid motherfuckers that obviously don't read the Bible, you say you do because you memorize it, right? Yeah, I get it. But it says here on Deuteronomy 28:64. Let me just read it to you because obviously you guys don't even read it. You don't read it. It says here, and the Lord shall scatter thee among all people. Oh yeah, you see, they took us everywhere. That's exactly what y'all motherfuckers say, except you don't go into it further. From one end of the earth even unto another. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known. So how the fuck can you come to the Americas, get enslaved or supposedly, and then say you don't know these white folks, you don't know their religion? Oh my God, they implemented Christianity on us. Motherfuckers, you were teaching our gente your religion. There was black fathers in the Americas in 1500 teaching our gente how to fucking worship your goddamn dirty Virgin Mary and your stupid ass white or black Jesus. That's not a lie. Why? It says here that you nor your fathers would know this religion. Verse 36, read the fucking book itself because apparently every single one of y'all gets completely confused. The Lord shall bring thee and thy kings, which also set over thee unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and there thou shalt serve other gods. We just heard this man say that St. Augustine was an African. That means that Africans and Europeans were already dealing with each other. Christianity wasn't new to no negro when they showed up in 1490 motherfucking 2 or fake ass 1619. No.
Spain didn't conquer.
This is why they don't like my channel, because I don't fucking lie. I bring facts, not feelings. And that's why people hate me.
Roman provinces, right? St. Augustine was an African, and Spain didn't conquer Tun, right? Veravir tried.
St. Augustine was an African. St. Augustine was an African. St. Augustine was an African way before 1492. So this BHI bullshit that supposedly y'all didn't know the white man, please. Why is people falling for this shit? Why are you Raza giving your daughters to these motherfucking Canaanites? Like, you don't even know that, do you? Why do you think he mentioned all of that Mongol Kush bullshit? They want to be all the people in suffering because they want to be the Hebrews of the Bible. That's what it is. I know it sounds silly, family. I know it's fucking ridiculous. Really? Do you really mean to tell me that they're really going to make up all that shit? Yes. I'm telling you, they want to be the Israelites of the Bible. I'm telling you. Yet, if that book is really real, I'll say it like this. If that book is real and the real Israelites are for real, those Israelites are you, Raza. Not these motherfucking people. Want to know why? Because not only, the curses are just like a topping, like icing on the cake. Your folklore is there, your tamales is there, your tortillas is there, your carne asada is there, your sandalias is there, your fringes is there, your gabana is there. What else? Hold on, there's some other stuff, dude. That shit. A bunch of stuff, bro. I can't believe I just forgot right now. Anyways, I've done classes on it. Let's continue.
Tribes that were Christian. The first front that the armies of the Caliphate had to defeat were the Moro-Roman kingdoms, about which very little is known, but I put them in the book. They are Christian kingdoms. In the end, it creates a responsibility for you. I have to publish this, I have to share it with people, right?
I would suggest for you guys to get that book called La Segunda Columna. You can get it in English as well, by the way, okay? Just translate it. I think I looked for it and I'm sure it showed up. La Segunda Columna, it gives you a perspective of the relationship between Europe and Africa. And it goes all the way back. It goes all the way back. So it's like when these motherfucking people try to say like, hey, and they're on the corner saying, hey, Barakata, Shalawamak, Shalawamak. Okay, sounds good. They're saying that they never knew the white man. And they're also saying that this verse applies to them. The Lord shall bring a nation against you from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. So then that's another one. You're saying this says that the people that meet these invaders will not know English, Spanish, Dutch, French, German, Portuguese, Russian, Prussian, fucking Ashkenazi, whatever the fuck else you speak. And if you Negro said that you ruled Europe, then that means you spoke those motherfucking languages. And then on top of the fucking whole stupidity of your stupid doctrine, it says a nation from afar, from the end of the earth. The end of the earth. What the fuck, bro? Africa and Europe is just a skip and a hop. Look, Africa's right here. Europe is right here. If you like, it's just a skip and a hop. It's like the size of a booty hole, bro. Shit. Bro, our Chicloso is closer than I mean, I'm sorry, Europe and Africa is closer than your Chicloso, bro. That's exactly why there's no way these people, I mean, come on, fam. Do you guys not read? Is it not obvious? I mean, does it take somebody so bluntly to just fucking say it? The Lord shall bring a nation against you from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose language basically you will not understand. So it says you will not understand their language, you will not understand their customs, you will not understand their religion, not you nor your forefathers. But yet this video says that there was St. Augustine born in Africa, St. Augustine, a Christmas Christian. You've been lied to too many years. It's time to stop being pathetic.
The case of Fort Mose is very interesting, right? It could be said that it was the first free black settlement in the present-day United States. There, let's say, we can start talking about Morocco at the end of the 17th century in the pact that was made with France. France was the most interested in that protectorate. It was said that the people of Morocco had to submit to the interests of the Sultan. Let's say that Spain fought for the interests of the Sultan of Morocco. He claimed to be a black, Catholic, and free conqueror, because one of the only,
claimed to be a black conqueror. That means that he came to these lands and took your women and your 9-year-old daughters, okay? Because that was a fact. And they did what they wanted with them. Let me ask you a question, familia. Has that fucking changed? I know I'm hurting people's feelings. I'm not here to tickle your feet. I'm here to teach you facts, not fiction, not emotions, not fucking feelings. This is not a channel about feelings. This is a channel about facts. And if you get offended by what I say, then you are in the wrong. Well, actually, you may be in the wrong channel if you could withstand the fucking reality of who you are, who we are, and what's about to happen.
let's say, requirements to be in the Order of Santiago was not to have been Jewish, and a Muslim was not Jewish. So, one was baptized if one had not been Jewish. Order of okay, and we'll continue with the interview. Like Estebanico, who you also narrate in your book, tell us a little
Listen, sorry.
bit about it. Three of those carrying you here because we want to ask our...
Let me have him say this, because I have, let me see if I can find it. As he's talking, let me see if I can find it, because it's powerful when I get to show it to you. You know, it doesn't matter if I, hold on a second, fam. it doesn't matter if I say it or talk about it or, hey, you know, look at the video and yeah, you guys won't remember the stuff that I've done, what is it, 800 and something fucking videos. I probably brought out like thousands of fucking books to y'all. Okay. Some people come to my channel and say, oh, you show us PDF files. Well, no, I have a lot of PDF books and I do have a lot of books that are hard copy, but I like PDFs because it's very convenient. I don't have, you know what I'm saying? I can just grab my phone and I don't have to open the book and the page and hold it down. And you know what I mean? Maybe it, you know, it doesn't hold it. But you know, haters will be haters. Anyhow, listen to this.
Interviewee, Miguel, now. We want to know a little bit about the history of those characters that we're talking about, like Estebancico.
Estebancico is what they call him, okay? Estebancico. So he traveled with Hernan Cortez. Estebancico traveled with Hernan Cortez, in case you didn't know. That's why it's funny when you got Morenos coming to my channel saying, you guys are Spaniards. You're Hernan Cortez's brother. What the fuck are you talking about, bro? Your tío fucking walked around with his ass. Your tío hung out with his ass. He probably jacked his ass off on the fucking boat coming over here. You know what I'm saying? As a slave, servant. Hey, bro, I'm too drunk. Can you help me relieve myself? Don't worry about it. Nobody's watching. There's no cameras. Hold on. Let me look for it. Hernan Cortez. Oh, no, not that one. Hernan. Let me see. Hold on. I'll just do Hernan right now. Because more books show up. Give me a quick second. As a matter of fact, let me play it.
Who you also narrate in your book. Tell us a little bit about it. Yes, well, as I was telling you, I also decided to put a little bit of it together in the book, which, well, here's the cover. I already have it in physical form, to include in the book, since I'm talking about Hispano-African relations, those Africans who decided to participate in the conquest of America, right? Conquest and exploration, and who felt so Spanish and just
called Hernández Soto. The history here, I'm gonna post it right now in a little bit. I'm gonna let it play, and I'm gonna read about Estebancico. El pinche Estebancico. You're gonna find out why we killed that motherfucker, bro. You're gonna find out why we killed him, because he was just fucking abusing our sisters. You know what I'm saying?
one more among all those Spaniards, right? One of them, well, the best known, at least to me, right, is this fan that was also part of the kingdom of Fest, of this kingdom that we mentioned before, which is in the area of northern Morocco. Possibly he was a slave from the south, right? Freed and who went to serve in the house of some gentleman and enlisted from Seville in an expedition to New Spain. I have a very interesting article that anyone who wants to look for and more information about this Estebancico can find it there. But Estebancico is one of those who participates in the adventures and that crazy expedition of Cabeza de Vaca, right? They get lost. This fan pretends to be a healer. Cabeza de Vaca also pretends to be a magician. Well, I don't understand why there's no movie about that or Netflix. There you don't need the subscription because you already have an African who is this fan who is Spanish, right? He is perhaps the best known Spanish explorer who also disappears, right? On another expedition in the Mississippi area. He is never heard from again, right? He even had servants and dogs and people under his charge and everything after, of course, having earned his position as a Spanish conqueror. But I'm not just talking about Estebancico, and I was telling you that I was going to feature a character in the book named Juan Garrido, okay? From which I take some documentation, because, well, we know many of these characters, because they are sometimes, denounced, right? By their former owners, because they, many times, enlist and, of course, in the end, become freedmen thanks to participating in these campaigns of conquest.
Right, so as he, tries to figure out, but that's why I don't like the translation, man, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, at least we get, some knowledge of, I know you get it. Some of you guys get frustrated. It says here, the history of Hernan de Soto in Florida, or records of the events of the 56 years, from 1512 to 1568 by Bernard Sheep, 1888. You see, that's why I say, if you fucking with my channel, you're getting facts. You want to go somewhere else to get tickled in the belly? Yeah, by all means, don't lie to you, though. You know what I'm saying? It's all good, though. You don't give a fuck. Anyways, the interior of Florida remained unexplored and unknown till the expedition of Pánfilo de Narváez, who brought dogs to feed our children to them. In the year 1527, when Álvaro Núñez de Vaca, Cabeza de Vaca, wandering from 1528 to 1536, across the continent of the Pacific Ocean and finally reached the Mexico City. The expedition of Narváez was succeeded by that of Hernán de Soto, who landed in Tampa Bay in Florida on the 30th of May, 1939. Okay, these two expeditions, Narváez and de Soto, were the first that gave Europe a knowledge of the interior of Florida. It is from them that they inquired the first information in regards to some of the principal rivers and towns and yada 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 population of the country, the names and locations of Indian tribes they met with. Okay, got it. Now read this real quick for me, please. Dorantes and Castillo also returned to Spain. The Negro Estebano, which is Estebancito, remained in Mexico and served as a guide to Francisco Marco de Niza in his expedition to Cibola, where Estebano, on an account of some improprieties, was killed by the Indians.
Let me say that again. That fucking Negro was killed because of his improprieties, abusing our daughters, our little girls. That's the shit that you Negros boast about in secret. Yeah, I see your chats. I read your books. You say it quietly. Look at what we did. Just don't tell nobody. You're no different than the white man when you're hiding this motherfucking disgusting thing. Expedition 1539 to 1543. Sometimes previously Pánfilo Narváez, Cortés, unformed, whatever, you know. But we understand now that Negros were hanging around with who? The Spaniards. Not you, Raza. Stop believing that. We never dealt with Spaniards. And now that I'm seeing this whole bigger picture of history, I wonder if our Native brothers and sisters really, really teamed up with them. Why would you team up with some Negro-looking dude, some white-looking dude to kill our people? It doesn't make sense, does it? I got a book that shares to you that they don't want you to know this. I'm just going to read this first page, and then I'm going to show you the video, because a lot of you guys don't give a fuck anyways. You don't believe, you know what I mean? You're hard-headed. You think you're like, oh, I don't give a fuck. I love Jesus. Fuck Jesus. And your grandma. Because that shit is fake. Jesus is fake. The Virgin Mary is fake. But you know what's real? Your heritage that was been kept away from. This is from the 10 tribes historically identified. It says, Sagahun further complained that he was forcibly deprived of the very valuable paintings representing the Great Temple. Sagahun was the first person that was documenting art history. With the court by which it was surrounded, which he says was sent to Spain. Now, Zumarraga was the friar that determined what would be written and what would not be. He was also the one that denied the Bible to all of you indigenous people. Did you not know that the Bible wasn't even printed in Mexico until like 1835? And it was in Latin, and it was worth like $300 at that time. In 1903, in 1905, and in 1910, only about 10% of our people knew how to read. You understand how much we've come? It says here, it is very evident that everything in Mexico calculated to draw attention to the ancient history of our country, more specifically, if connected with religious recollections, was carefully removed from notice immediately after the conquest. Pieces of sculptures were mutilated or buried. Paintings were burned. Temples and edifices, which from their size it was impossible to destroy, were suffered to fall into oblivion. Zumarraga was the one that destroyed that shit, and Zumarraga was the one that gave you the Virgin fucking Mary. That fake ass bullshit that you need every fucking year over nothing. That bitch has not saved you for days. No magnificent monument of ancient art, such as the Temple of Palenque and the Palace of Mitlan, would pass unnoticed by Spanish authors. You care more about that stupid ass religion than our people? Sagahun,
Okay, the scholar that was trying to make sure that he documented everything about us, when engaging in the compilation of history after it had been taken away from him and again restored, received 3 cautions. First, to write nothing to prove that the Hebrews had colonized the New World or that the Hebrews were here. Secondly, to be guaranteed in what he said of the devil having imitated God, taking into himself a chosen people in the New World. So basically, he's like, bro, the devil lied to these savages, made them believe that they're the ones that are chosen. And then, in counterfeiting the rites and ceremonies of the Jews. That's all a lie. Thirdly, not to advocate the hypothesis that Christianity had ever been proclaimed to the Indians or to treat too largely the history of Quetzalcoatl. That's why they say they're everybody, because they want to be what you are. Again, it sounds silly. I know you don't believe my channel. Fuck it. I don't care. But some people do believe. And it's very obvious why they want to be natives. Not for your tacos. Not for your delicious food family. You know what I'm saying? Not because you eat chapulines. Oh, that's right. We're the only nation in the world that eats chapulines. And that's the Israelites eat chapulines. Anyways, that's not what they care about. They have this imaginary idea that if they are just the Israelites, they will stop being black. Wow.
At other times, let's say, the former owner feels a certain envy and demands compensation. So there are many lawsuits that are generated, with this. So Juan Garrido, participates with Nan Cortez, right? In his campaigns and, there is a document here in which Cell claims to be a black, Catholic, and free conqueror, okay? And in the letter he wrote to Amanda, to the Crown of Spain,
de España, dice: yo, Juan Garrido, de color negro, vecino de esta ciudad de México, comparezco ante vuestra merced y declaro que...
I was trying to put the captions in subtitles in English. Give me a second. I want to show it to the people that probably don't speak Spanish. We got brothers that don't speak Spanish, and it's all good, bro. My kids have a hard time. English, you know what I mean? They hear English all the time, bro. It's easier for them. I get it. English, hold on, auto-translated. Let me see, subtitles. That's what I did wrong. English. Give me a second. What the fuck, did I choose it? Yes, I did. Okay, I did subtitles. Hold on, let me see.
Estoy en necesidad de dar...
No, that shit is still in Spanish. What the fuck? Okay, here we go. Sorry, fam. Here we go. I think I got it right.
Of the perpetuity of the king, an account of how your majesty served in the conquest and pacification of New Spain, since the Marquis del Valle, Hernán Cortés, entered it, and in his company I was present at all the invasions and conquests and pacifications that were made. A kind of act, that is, of a do, right? Of what this man needed to say why he was there and why he had the lands that had been given to him in Mexico, right? I have many more cases like this, right? More captains who participated in the conquest. Juan Valiente I have here. Well, then I also have other writers like Juan Latino, well, another Sebastián Torral. I have painters here, Sebastián Gómez, Sebastián de Brito, a painter like Juan de Pareja. I wanted to say.
They're all black. They're all Negroes. They're all Africans. In the Americas. Thriving. Living. Not suffering. 1619 is a fucking lie, family. So is the Willie Lynch letter. I can prove it. That's why nobody ever challenged that video that I did. I did a video on the Willie Lynch. As a matter of fact, I did 2 or 3 videos on Willie Lynch. Not one soul had the fucking nerve to even say anything to me. Why? Because I don't lie. I don't have to lie if I'm fucking reading history. I mean, why do I have to do that? How silly can you be? It's like, you don't gotta lie to kick it, homie. There's no need for that shit. Our history is all over this fucking book, and that's why they don't want to tell you that, family. They want to make you feel like you're some fucking Mongol or some vermin or some invader or some immigrant that was brought with the Spaniards, even though these Negros helped them and shit. You know what I'm saying? They've been having babies with these motherfuckers forever. That's why they think they're like, oh, we don't look like Africans. Well, of course not, because you got a lot of white blood in you, dumbass. A lot of you Negros are more likely 100% white. You just got some fucking, a tan and some woolly hair. That's it. Sad part is that you believe the bullshit. That's the sad part. A lot of us just like, man, bro, for real? Really? It's like every day, bro, you guys are on TikTok. Look at me. Look at my curls. I don't have to have grease. Bro, you're like fucking white, dude. Like a white guy. Let's continue.
There are a lot of people. Well, and I cite a very interesting case in the book, which is the case of Fort Mose, okay? Which could be said to be the first free black settlement in the current United States. It's a very interesting story. That's from the 17th century, but let's say that Fort Gracia Real de Santa Teresa de Mose was where black English slaves could seek refuge and a job, which was either as a soldier or as a health worker, or whatever they wanted to be there, because there, within the Spanish Empire, they were free.
There, within the Spanish Empire, Negros were free. But who was not free? You, brothers and sisters.
¡Viva México, cabrones!
Where's your moral code? Where's your soul? You preach 10 commandments but broke every scroll.
Let me play this again.
Where's your moral code? Where's your soul? You preach 10 commandments but broke every scroll.
And don't they do it every day now today? Oh, Jesus, we love Jesus. Deport these beaters, kill them, shoot them. I don't care. Give them to feed them to alligators. Don't let the women shower. Shoot the kids. Who cares? Separate them. Who doesn't matter? They're just vermin. They're just vermin. Wait, by the way, we're almost done, family, all right? Another 30 minutes and we out. I do have a game tomorrow morning. Not me, my daughter. I do coach. Yes, I'm coaching again. And I'm helping my daughter's team. And they're actually a league, and they're pretty good. And the reason I'm coaching is because I had families ask, can he coach? And that's when you know that's your calling. I love little kids, bro. I love little people, man. They're phenomenal, man. This is why I fucking love the scriptures right here, bro. I love this. I love this shit, man. I love what I do. I love the fact that I take care of my family. I love the fact that I don't have to ask nobody for no fucking help. And I love the fact that my kids watch what I do. Not just I talk about it, I fucking do about it. Okay? It says, Deuteronomy 6:7, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shall talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest in thy way, and when thou liest and diest down, and when thou raise it up. Meaning what? They say the commandments, but you want to know what it is? It's our culture. Love yourself, respect your elders, help the community, be an example, and love God. It's pretty simple, family. We're not complicated people. Love your family, love your elders, love God, and take advantage of this beautiful land that the Most High Creator gave us. I think it's very simple.
Where's your moral code? Where's your soul? You preach 10 commandments but broke every scroll.
And then it says, and thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand, and they shall be as a frontlet between thine eyes. When you start teaching your children how valuable they are, no one can bring insecurity into their spirit at all. And your children will be very, I don't even want to say loyal. They'll be committed to you because look, listen, here's my approach to my kids. They're not my children, family. Before they're my kids, they're the Creator's kids. God gave me an opportunity to raise them, for I can learn from them. Before they're my children, they're His children. That's why it's like when we came in with this mentality of Europeans, you better respect me. I'm a machista. Yo soy cabrón, güey. Nah, that's not the way it works. That shit destroyed us. That shit destroyed us. Communal, love for our family, respect for our elders, love for our Creator, that He gave us this beautiful land to fucking harvest and grow and develop in. Wisdom and truth is always going to be here as long as you understand what that means. That's why when I say the video, when I first start my channel, every single time since 2022, it says, si nos remontamos al comienzo, entonces hallaremos que la ignorancia y el temor crearon a los dioses. La simpatía los ignoraron, los desfiguraron. La credulidad le rinde culto. ¿Cómo se dice? La autoridad los conserva. La costumbre los respeta y la tiranía los apoya para que la ceguera de los hombres sirva a sus propios intereses. That's what religion did to us. They gave you Jesus, they gave you a Virgin Mary, and then they told you to be separate from your family. And that Jesus and that Virgin Mary will help you instead of you coming to your elders. We used to have that. This is why history is important. Because when you start seeing the real facts, now you have to sit back and say, okay, what else did they lie to us about?
How interesting, because at the end we're also seeing all the examples presented in the second column. I would also like to highlight with this that there is so much presentism today, if we take into account the vision of the time. After all, the Spanish Empire in this aspect was linked to progress, right? As much as they want to sell us the opposite idea that it was a country or a nation, these examples demonstrated very clearly, right, Miguel, all this. Yes, towards progress and towards, let's say, what the empires would be before World War I, right? Which they called multi-ethnic, right? Spain had no problem. It can be qualified that being a Christian, let's say you got more pets, because for example, these Moroccan nobles we were talking about before, being
Moroccan nobles, which were Africans in Spain that they were dealing with, all right? Follow the actual storyline. Don't lose yourselves, family. Pay attention intently, okay? I know it's difficult with the translation, but you need to listen to what he's saying. This is a Spaniard. They know their history. They know what the fuck happened over there, okay? Let's continue. We don't have to listen to these Morenos try to tell us over here. Come on, bro. Come on, man. Stop.
Muslims remained at court, but if they were baptized, which many were, they got a job. Many were officers in the tercios in Italy, right? Moroccans, right? Upon being baptized. Why?
See, many Africans were what? They've been dealing with Europeans forever, fam.
And some obtained the mantle of the Order of Santiago because the only one of the only, let's say, requirements to be in the Order of Santiago was not having been Jewish, and a Muslim was not Jewish. So one was baptized, if one had not been Jewish. Order of Santiago, you know? I mean, there's a lot of unknown history, and I think that it also helps us to uncover parts of the dark legend, right? That enough is enough, that the history of Spain encompasses everything, you know? Juan Ganabet, one of the great, I would say.
Yeah, my friend, black conquistadors and buffalo soldiers were real savages. Matter of fact, bro, you know what? I'm going to show you. And then, here, let me pause this video because it's pretty long, right? What I'll do is I'll show the other half because I have some books. I want to show this book to y'all. And now that he brought it up, I think it's important, okay? So check this out. After this video, I'm going to show you some pages of some books and then we out. Thank you, bro, for reminding me.
Freaking OG bringing you that hidden truth because LeBron James and Jesse Jackson will not give it to you like this, you see. Mr. Spook Lee will never make movies about this, and I wonder why. So I'm here learning about the Buffalo Soldiers, Geronimo, and the Wounded Knee Massacre. And I must say, the more I learn about these Black Americans and their history, the more I understand why things are happening the way they are now in the USA. Just look at the type of things these people were doing to the Native Americans, all the while crying about, the Black Wall Street Massacre, the Rosewood Massacre, boo-hoo-hoo, But look at the nonsense they were doing to the Native Americans. They will not tell you that these Black Americans massacred over 200 innocent men, women, and children for absolutely no reason. And they are here proud afterwards. To make matters even worse, these black Americans have the nerve to...
Sorry, I was on mute. Oliver, did you use translate? Because you're looking suspect.
claim to be the Native Americans in year 2023. What these black Americans did to the natives is equivalent to going up to a person that you see choking, and then you sneak up behind them and you proceed to strangle them.
My bad, brother. I misunderstood you. Okay, sorry. Let's continue.
You see, that is pure evil right there, and there's no way you can get out of this. You cannot play the blame the white man card on this at all. You see, all I know is I will say this and I will end this vid, because if I keep talking, these black Americans are going to report, because they cannot handle the funk. But I know that if it was us Ethiopians that these black Americans did this to, and then have the nerve to try to claim your identity, a lot of these black Americans, they live in homes.
It's all good, brother Oliver. Maybe I misunderstood you. Look, man, I'm pretty blunt with people, bro. If you're here as a friend or as a foe, let me know. So we don't fuck around, yo. Same book that I was showing earlier. It says you're both nations, Hebrews and Mexicans, were the most punctual in the payment of their religious offerings and first fruits. The Mexicans, as Montezuma informed Cortés, who came with Negros, feared if they failed in this part for their religious duties that they would incur the severest vengeance, and the prophet Malachi, or rather God speaking through the mouth. Hold on, let me show you. To the mouth of that prophet, assures that the Jews that they were under a particular blessing promised in the 3rd chapter of the book of Malachi. The paintings of the Mexicans show that the censers were used in the profusion in the ceremonies of their religions. Okay, right? Let's continue. It says on the bottom, the manner in which they kindled the sacred fire is precise. It's not precisely known. That it was a religious rite accompanied with certain ceremonies cannot be doubted, and we may even be permitted to believe from an expression in the 14th verse of the 19th chapter of Ezekiel, 1914 Ezekiel. Let's get to it. Ezekiel 1914, hold on, 1914. It says, and the fire is gone out of a rod of her branches, which had devoured her fruit, so that she had not strong rod to be a scepter to the rule. This is a lamentation, and it shall be a lamentation. So it's like a prayer. It says, and the fire had gone. So yeah, it's a prayer. Many passages of scripture lead us to imagine that the ground plan of the great temple of Mexico resembled that of Jerusalem. It says here that in their customs of shaving their hair, sitting upon the ground, sprinkling dust upon their head as a sign of humiliation. So sometimes it would be like mourning, so to speak. According to rabbinical doctrine, the accusation of Satan were confounded by the noise of the trumpets. Let me skip that. Let's go to this. And the priests of the sons of Aaron shall blow with the trumpets, and they shall be to you as an ordinance throughout your generation. So continually sounded in. So basically saying that like the raza was doing that the whole time. The trumpets, the fire. The Mexicans believe that the intercession of children in behalf of the men are efficacious with God. We shall quote a remarkable passage of the 21st chapter of Sagahun's history in confirmation of this curious fact. They say that it is for their sake that God preserved the world, and that they are our intercessors with God. You're named Mexica for a purpose. Somebody came to this channel and said, "Oh, so what are you saying that the people in South America they're not Mexicas, so they're not anointed?" Well, there are 12 tribes. Sorry to tell you. Anyways, it says here also at the same time. Let's go to the next page because we're gonna get through it real quick. We'll go to, let's see here. It says, speaking of these abominations, he says the divinity of these false gods was acknowledged by the prayers, kneeling, and prostrations with vows and fasts and other austerities, sacrifice and offerings. This was our people doing this. Okay. With their faces towards the east, and therefore made their sacrifice with the door to the west. There was a temple, or as the Mexicans called it, House of God, where the continuous Clevergo, the king of Mexico, retired at a certain time for the purpose of fasting and prayer. So our people, our gente, when they were praying towards the east. I bet you didn't know that. Why would they tell you? They want you to think you're savages. Many of the Mexican paintings would seem to imply that the Mexicans were acquainted with the various books of the Old Testament and had even attempted to express brilliant colors and hieroglyphics with the various saying metaphors, I believe. That's what it says. Sorry for not taking pictures very well. I'm just kind of going through it real quick. Mexican paintings contain allusions to the restoration of the dispersed tribes of our people. It says here that a remarkable representation of Quetzalcoatl cast forth from the jaws of some amphibious animal occurs. In the reference to which curious paintings, it would be interesting to know that whether the Hebrews had any tradition with their Messiah, Mexica, would be devoured by a monster who would afterwards be compelled to yield up his prey, meaning what is that book called? Oh my God, I can't believe I forgot it. Jonas. Like the serpent in the 75th page of the Yester Vatican manuscripts, which is a fierce eagle compelled to discord a lamb. Then it says a symbol of suffering and innocence amongst the Mexicans, according to Humboldt, which corresponds to the lamb of the Hebrews, and which afterwards was a type of substituted for the latter by the Hebrews of Mexico. Referred by them to Quetzalcoatl in the same manner as their brethren of Peru appear to have replaced the sacrifice of the sheep in the old world. I love the fact that it says that because that's basically what my DNA says. I'm a mixture of both. In Exodus, I believe 19, chapter 6, God commands Moses to address the following language to the Hebrews. Ye shall be unto me a king, a priest, and a holy nation. The Mexicans resemble the Hebrews in being a nation of priests. They were very religious and much addicted to prayer. They worship one God only, whom they named Quetzalcoatl, whose priests bore likewise the same appellation. That's why these negros want to be you. They want to claim all of this information. They want to claim to be the Hebrews of the Bible. That's why they want to be you. There's no other reason, family. I'm telling you right now, there's no other motherfucking reason. I'm going to give you 2 more videos and we out. So you can see exactly who the fuck these people are. From beginning to end, how they were friends, holding hands, and probably butt plugging each other. Just like Sakari.
Legend of the Craft, Legend of the Temple.
My name on the Masonic and the Order of the Eastern Star, the Baphomet there.
Photo of George Washington's sash worn in the Revolutionary War at the time he resigned his commission in 1783. Oh boy. The building of Solomon's Temple. Oh look, this is George Washington's Masonic apron. Oh, look at that. George Washington. Okay. Oop, Thomas Jefferson. James Madison. Check it out. James Monroe. Andrew Jackson.
Here you have Masonic presidents of our country. Masonic presidents. I'll zoom in here so you can read a little bit better. George Washington, Mason. Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, James Monroe, Andrew Jackson, James Knox Polk, James Buchanan, Andrew Johnson, James Garfield, William McKinley, Theodore Roosevelt, William Howard Taft, Warren Gamaliel Harding, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, Harry S. Truman, Gerald Ford, the fatherhood of God, the brotherhood of man. There you have George Washington with a nice all-seeing eye radiating down over the White House. Nice imagery there. The white apron there is made of lamb's wool, and it symbolizes the veil that veils the Holy of Holies from the God of Masonry, which is right directly behind the veil. Excuse me there, I have to point there. That's the God of Masonry. You see the square, you see the compass, you know, this thing here, right there, the G in the middle, does not stand for God. It does not stand for geometry. It stands for generativity. It is a sex symbol. Okay?
All right, family, one more video and we out. I want you to know who the fuck these people are. Listen, it's not just the white Freemasons. It's also these motherfuckers.
But the brethren who were a part of the syndicate. I already knew a backlash was coming because everyone in that religious sphere is a part of the syndicate. So I knew it was going to happen. You're so predictable. Most I said, sit back and watch how they come for you. I said, I'm ready. Most I gave me the encouragement to pursue. And people should just be genuine and say, yo, they're part of the thing and talk out like that.
This is a African dude that lives in Europe, was raised there, was dealing with these Negros over here in the Americas, and they're like, we Hebrews, we Hebrews. So he started doing his digging. And he's like telling these Negros over here, like, hey, bro, do you guys not know about this shit that you guys are part of? Oh, well, no, our family didn't know. And you know, we had to use them because we were enslaved. And you know what I mean? Like, what else can we do? And most of our parents didn't know. Seriously, that's what they fucking said. Now this dude is an atheist. You see, family, this is what happens with people. This is what happens to people when they want something that doesn't belong to them and it's just waiting for you to fucking grab it. They get burned. That's why they don't fuck with this channel, because they will get burned.
Over that pastor guy did, even though, you know, it is what it is. But people are being disingenuous and acting like it doesn't exist. And yet there were former pastors, or they had dads who were pastors and bishops and that. No, stop trying to keep people in ignorance, bro.
Greetings. In celebration of Black History Month, I'd like to discuss the story of Prince Hall, our founder, who was a great American and the first Grand Master associated with our first Grand Lodge and its expansion. Approximately 1 year and 4 months prior to the writing of the Declaration of Independence, Prince Hall engraved his image in the annals of American history. Prince Hall, a free black man, became a property owner, voter, and community activist in the Cambridge-Boston colony. His story has not been told nor recorded in the history textbooks, despite the fact that he was a civil rights activist who made a significant contribution to the growth and development of our nation. Although little is known about the circumstances of his birth, his condition of servitude, or his occupation, we do know, however, that because of Prince Hall's dedication to improve the quality of life for his people, accompanied by a desire to become a Freemason, he and 14 other men of color received the 3 degrees of Freemasonry by being initiated into the fraternity on March 6, 1775, in an Irish military lodge attached to the 38th foot of the British Army. This event made Prince Hall the first of his race.
While he's speaking so proudly with his fucking face, you know what I'm saying? And he's like enjoying the concepts of knowing that the white man and the black man has superiority over our people. Now this starts to make sense, you know? Now you guys understand exactly what the fuck's going on right here. This native indigenous sister of ours obviously was being sold by these Freemason motherfuckers. White Freemasons, Prince Hall Freemasons. Do you understand what the fuck we're dealing with? These negras over here, right? They weren't being sold. They were sitting around waiting for their husbands to make some fucking money. Why? Because he's selling this sister. He ain't selling these bitches. Fuck you and your reparations. Fuck you and reparations today. Fuck you and your reparations tomorrow. Fuck you and your reparations forever. Disgusting motherfucking people that are hiding from their own history. As long as I'm alive, I'm gonna fucking expose y'all.
In North America to enter into the oldest and most prestigious fraternity in history. The historical record reflects that
Ricky Ricardo don't want nothing to do with me, bro. That little kid, you know what I'm saying? He'll try to flex on his TikTok channel like, oh, look, I got my tank top. I'm working out. You're a young kid, of course. You know what I'm saying? It's all good, bro. But you want to know something about being young? You're also stupid, Ricky Ricardo. You're lambiscando las nalgas de los negros que te abusaron primero, pendejo. Oh, that's right. You don't speak Spanish. That's right. You have no concept of our gente. Now, you think Spanish is because we're no. It's a cultura now. You see, this is the way we are. We're great people because we take things to ourselves and we're like, fuck it. We're going to make it our shit. We're going to make it our shit. We'll take lemon and make lemonade.
The others were Cyrus Johnson, Buston Slinger, Prince Reese, Prince Radine, Peter Freeman, Peter Best, John Canton, Duff Reform, Thomas Sanderson, Cato Spain, Boston Smith, Fortune Howard, and Richard Titley. Around April 14th of 1776, the military regiment to which Hull's Lodge was attached received orders.
Wait, brother, I never even knew that. Are you serious? Hold on a second. Can you talk about the black Hebrew Israelites that were granted Israeli citizenship in exchange in joining IDF? Are you fucking serious? They're literally African-American wobbles that are committing genocide against the Palestinians through the IDF. Bro, do me a favor. Here, dude, show me an email. 41K is woke at Gmail. Send me an email to that source, bro. And if you like, man, I'll bring you on board, bro. We can do the class together. I don't like, you know what? I don't need credit for that shit. You brought it up, bro. That's fucking amazing. Amazing. Because remember, keep in mind, that's right. In case you did not know, in case you didn't know, man, like, dude, listen, dude. En este canal, güey, no se nos pasa ni madre, cabrón. Let's tackle this shit, and I'm going to show you one more thing, and then we out.
Is to relocate to the New York colony, leaving Prince Hall and his Negro brethren, all civilians, without a lodge. Prior to leaving, however, the word...
Wait, that's twice I said that, but this time I mean it. Seriously, that's it. Done. After this video, I'm going to show you one more because the brother Fluke reminded me of it. And do me a favor, brother. Send me that information that you got. I want to do a beautiful class on that shit. That's going to be powerful.
First Master Sergeant John Batt issued to Prince Hall and his brethren a permit to welcome St. John's Day and to bury their dead with full Masonic rites. As a result, African Lodge No. 1, Ancient Accepted York Masons, was formed, with Prince Hull elected as Worshipful Master. As the Batt permit left Prince Hull with Masonic limitations, he petitioned the Grand Lodge of England for a full charter in 1784. On March 2nd of 1784, Prince Hull wrote a letter to William Moody, Worshipful Master of Brotherly Love, number 55 in London, England, stating that African Lodge had been in operation for 8 years, but it only...
Hey, what up, brother? Good to have you, man. Hey, listen, I think you called me earlier. I just couldn't take your call, bro. I'll call you tomorrow. I'll call you on Monday, okay? Unless it's an emergency, bro, text me right now. But if you just wanted to talk about something, wait for me to call you. I think more likely Tomorrow I got something to do, so I probably won't even think about it. No offense to you, brother, with all due respect. More likely Monday, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's just I have a goal in mind, brother. I'm trying to fucking buy a house by March, and I'm trying to save as much money as I can. So I'm like working from Monday through Saturday. Make sure I stack that chip. I got to come up with a nice down payment. Gotta get a property for my children, bro, and leave it for them. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, bro. I hope you and your family are well, man. Thank you for calling me the other day, bro. I appreciate you sharing that with me, dude. I really, don't think I took that for granted. Not at all, bro. I understand you, bro. I'm here to help you, man. Just let me know, okay? No te preocupes, güey. This is what brotherhood is for.
They had a permit to walk on St. John's Day and to bury their dead in manner and form. He felt it best to send to the fountains of whence he received the light for a warrant. This warrant or charter was prepared that same year, but was held up when the fee sent by Prince Hall never arrived. After several years, Hall decided to entrust another fee to Captain James Scott, the brother-in-law of John Hancock, a signer of the Declaration of Independence. Captain Scott delivered the letter and the money and received a charter, which he duly delivered to Prince Hall at around the time of the writing of the United States Constitution. Prince Hall acknowledged receipt of the charter in a letter to England and added, "By the grace of God, I shall endeavor to fulfill all that is required of me in the charter, and I shall make the Constitution my guide." According to record, the naming and numbering of African Lodge number 4 or 5.
Hey, so as I said before, the beginning of the class was what? What was the beginning of the class? The untold mystery of Negroes helping the Spanish elite. What do you call this shit, bruh? Come on, man. You've been lied to too many times, Mexicano. You've been lied to too many times, Taino, Arawak. All you brothers and sisters that think we're not related, even though you feel indigenous, you've been lied to. All you Native Americans, quote unquote, that live up north and, you're confused about some shit. Listen, man, your suffering, our survival and yours, and our goddamn grit to this very day is the same. All the way from North America to down south. It's grit. That's why we're still here. We don't give up. We don't give up. Keep fighting. Because we have no choice. Because that's how we were made.
9, which was later changed to 371 on the English Grand Lodge Register, has been and is in the exclusive possession of the most worshipful Prince Hall Grand Lodge, free and accepted Masons of Massachusetts, and it's secured in the First National Bank of Boston. It's brought out and displayed every 10 years during the Prince Hall Masonic pilgrimage. Some of
Look, this is so funny. The fucking nerve of them. This is how stupid they are, bro. I know Yah, or God, is showing them their sins. They could repent and forsake their evil ways before it will be too late. I'll invite any Hebrew, black Israelite, or black Hebrew Israelite to debate Deuteronomy 28. And I will guarantee you I will not leave this chapter. And I will prove to you that we match all those curses and you motherfuckers don't. We don't have to go outside of it. Oh, and on top of that, matter of fact, you know what? I don't even have to use Deuteronomy 28. I can prove to you that our people are those people. Diet, folklore, clothing, and a bunch of other shit. For you, Raza, that has been under the, submission of the white Anglo-Saxon or the Moreno, flavor and shit, and you hate what I say, I can't help you because I'm not making shit up. Everything that I share is not because how I feel. It's because of what I study. If this wasn't real, I wouldn't share it with y'all. Why would I do that? I mean, you know what I mean? I would be the one fucking damned. You know what I'm saying? I ain't try to mislead nobody. But the fact is that Negros helped the white man. And yeah, they took advantage of us. And they're still doing it. Why do you think, who's the one that's like hurting our people at the stands? White and black folks. Black, white folks go and hurt our people at the stands because they're trying to sell tamales or pepinos or fucking piña or, you know, some fucking tamarindo on the street or some tejuino or, you know what I'm saying? Like, or some jamaica with some ice. Like, they're fucking around with our people because we're just trying to make a living. Now I understand why. Now are you understanding why they look at you like vermin? It's not just the Güeros family. Now, am I saying all Morenos are thinking this way? No. Am I saying all Güeros are thinking this way? No. Of course, you'd be stupid if you believe that. But it's clear that there's a good portion of people that have been lying to you. So whenever you hear news and it says it to your face, don't take it for granted. Don't take it for value. Listen to it and say, okay, I remember this brother said, you know what? You need to be cautious. Dissect it. I'm tired of you being taken advantage of.
Us have seen it and treasure it, for it is believed to be the only original charter issued by the Grand Lodge of England that is now in the possession of any lodge in the United States. Prince Hall made significant impact upon society during his life. Among his many, he petitioned General George Washington to admit men of color in.
Hold on, bro. Let me get that real quick. Is that a question? I think it sounds like a question. Let me read it. Let me read it because that's a good verse. Leviticus 4:32. Let me see how it's read. Let me see how it's written because it looks like a question. If it's a question, it's a very good question. But anyways, let's see. And if he bring a lamb for a sin offering, he shall bring it a female without blemish. Are you sure that's what you want to say? When did the lamb sacrifice for sin turn into blood sacrifice of man? Leviticus 4:32. Am I doing the right thing? Are you sure it's a verse, bro? Because I'm totally confused on this shit. Hey, hold on. Yeah, right. All right, let's come back to it, man. Are you sure? Please get it right.
To the Continental Army. Of further note, Hall distinguished himself at Bunker Hill. He led the entire lodge membership in support of Governor Bowdoin during the rebellion of Daniel Shea and his group. He petitioned the Massachusetts state legislature for funds to educate children of color. He opened his home as a school to provide an education to adults of color. He petitioned.
So since he petitioned for that, do you think it's okay? You guys that follow this channel, do you guys think it's okay? The blood of our people was sacrificed for the growth of these individuals. Think about it. Are they from the Americas? No. They claim it now. Both FBA and Republicans claim that they're the natives of the Americas. Have you guys not noticed the irony of that bullshit? It's so fucking ridiculous, huh? Isn't it? It really is. So what I want to do right now is I want to show you this video. And then I'm going to read this to you. And then I want you to ponder on what the fuck I just read to you earlier. And I want you to really, really think about the first page that I read that said that Sumarraga made sure that Sagahun should not write anything about our people. Not at all. I don't want them to know anything of the past. I don't even want them to assume that God came here to talk to them. What does that mean, fam? What's that mean? Why are they scared? This is a Khazar, a very well-respected man in their group. Jews, God in history. On page 381, watch what it says. I want you to remember this, okay? This is not bullshit. These are facts. Watch how he says it. As a footnote to history. As a footnote to history, okay? Meaning, as you're going along reading about all your stuff, make sure that you put this fucking note in your books, okay? We must record the fact. Once again, let me go back. Because a lot of us read and just kind of pass over it. And see, they're writing this to themselves. Because they want people to know that, they want their siblings to know, hey, listen, those motherfuckers over there in the Americas, those are the real Hebrews. But we don't want no one to know. So let me just read this. Because it's like subliminal messaging. As a footnote to history, we must record the fact, twice confirmed, that the Indians on the Caribbean islands, where the flotilla first landed, meaning Cristobal Colon, were greeted. You understand why they use that word greeted? Greeted is not a word that you use when you're just communicating with savages. Greeted is a word that you understand that it's caring. See, we were greeted in Hebrew or possibly Arabic by one Luis de Torres. Now, how do we know that this was confirmed? Because this Jewish interpreter abroad the flagship, right? He spoke those languages. And also, for Columbus was certain. So now we see, okay, pause this real quick. As a footnote to history, fact number 1, we must record the fact number 2, that the Indians at Caribbean island where the flotilla were first landed were greeted with Hebrew. Fact number 3, for Columbus was certain. Fact number 4, that the natives spoke either Hebrew or Arabic. Fact number 5, it was Torres, incidentally, who discovered maize and brought it to Europe, where with the potato, it enriched the diet of the Western man. Fact number 6. So once again, to you motherfucking Negros, where is your corn? Where is your maize? Where is your isotope C4? Show me that you do belong here through your diet, through your folklore. And if you were here before us, how come you don't know about the Christian compendium? How come you Negros in North America have no fucking concept of the Virgen Maria, Padre Nuestro, Diez Mandamientos, El Rosario, or all the others, or the Credo, Ave Maria? Like, they taught our indigenous people that Christmas Christian doctrine. You motherfuckers got no concept of that shit. Most of you guys are what? Based up Puritan or some other fucking religion that you got no concept of. So this is why I say to y'all, you really want this motherfucking heritage? Come and fucking take it. Come take it. Show me that I'm wrong. And I will teach my people that, you know what? You guys are the indigenous people of the Americas. You're right. Because I don't give a fuck. I'm not interested in being right. I just want the fucking truth. And from what I know, this is the truth. This is why you Negros want to be so bad natives. Because you want to be Hebrews. You're so envious that God don't want you. You made it all up. That's why you got a bunch of BHIs now, believing in all that bullshit. It's not complicated, family. It's okay, so we got it right? Hold on a second. Let me see. Hold on, let me just make sure. And if I bring a lamb for the sin offering, and he shall bring a female without blemish, Leviticus 4:32, he shall bring it to the female without blemish. Okay, my bad, brother. Maybe I was talking about something else, and that's when you brought that verse. Can you kind of like tell us why you brought that up? Just let me know, bro, because I want to understand. Now we know Freemasons here, Freemasons here. Who is the slave? Our people. Partis Equitur Ventrum was not made for the purpose of enslaving Negras. It was made for the purpose of enslaving our sisters. So that means that any child that came out of a womb was a slave. That's why when Negros say like, oh, my mama was native. It's because your fucking grandfather bought her. I don't even know why you guys are even fucking bringing it up. By you bringing it up, it shows that your bloodline had slave ownership. And somebody in your bloodline was a slaver, a negro for sure, that either kidnapped a native sister or bought her in slavery. That's what you negros are doing by saying you guys are natives, because supposedly you got straight hair or long hair, whatever. The fact is that you either stole our native sisters or slaved our native sisters. That's why you can't say, my dad had native blood. No, it's always your mama. It's always your mama. See, we don't lie here. You guys didn't suffer. The fuck you talking about? The fuck you saying? Even Willie Lynch is a lie. And you had to make that shit up? For real? And you had to make a movie about it? For real? Nah. You're not lying to our people no more. Another book that I want you guys to pay attention to is this one, man. You're going to touch it or not? The Nexus Spoken Language. A link between the Maya and Semitic during the pre-Columbian times. Hold on, not that one.
You.
This book talks about how there's a pronunciation of Jacob, very similar to our people's way of pronouncing. Balaam Akab, Lord Jacob. We'll touch on it another day. Let me just read this brother's comments. Blood a sacrifice, not in Old Testament. Let's see, of a man for sin. Each will die for his own sin. Seek your own. Yeah, that's for sure. They ain't no Jesus, bro. Whoever told you guys shit, that shit is a lie. Listen, family, I've done many classes on Jesus. I used to believe that shit. Trust me, I used to believe it. But nah, he's so many. Dude, just read the New Testament. He comes back like 7 times. And then if you actually read history, the turning into wine had already happened. Fish, all had already happened. Somebody dying on the cross had already happened. Marriage and the bridal had already happened. Turning water into wine had already happened. Breaking bread like his body and drinking wine as his flesh had already happened. Like all of that was not even Jesus' concept at all. That shit was old history. And they just kind of like replenished it and give it to you. The Virgin Mary, total bullshit. When you walk towards her for like 12 or I don't know how many hours on December 12th, you're a pagan. If you're following Jesus or the Virgin Mary or Christianity, you're a pagan. That's what it is. I know it's going to hurt a lot of people, but I've been saying it for a while. I'm telling you. They either want you to worship a white Jesus or a black one. Either way, that means submission. Once again, si nos remontamos al comienzo, entonces hallaremos que la ignorancia y el temor crearon a los dioses. La fantasía y el entusiasmo los adornaron, los desfiguraron. La credulidad les sirve culto. La debilidad los conserva. La costumbre los respeta y la tiranía los apoya para que la costumbre de los dioses haga sus propios intereses. I'm telling you, family. I'm not trying to be hateful to you, man. I know that a lot of y'all believe in all this fucking religion shit. But I'm telling you right now that you are from a different cloth. You don't belong to these churches. You don't belong to these religions. You don't belong to none of that shit. You come from a different background that completely understands who our creator is without some fucking priest telling you that shit. I think you know how to raise your children now that you're older, if you're watching this channel. I think you understand exactly what I'm talking about. I think you understand that when we were young, probably would have helped us if we would have had a parent that would have talked like this now, right? Well, we did not. So it's our job to lead the way. I think it's only obvious. And I think it's time for you motherfuckers to start waking the hell up. Listen, family.
know why I care about my people so much, but I do. And that's why I do these classes. That's just it. I don't know why. I don't know why I care, but I care. Okay? I hope you appreciate it. And I hope you appreciate this song, because guess what? Until we realize that this is what happened and who it came from and how we come together, then shit's gonna start changing.
Antes del nombre América, antes del hierro y la cruz, había pueblos que hablaban con la tierra y con la luz. No era un mundo vacío, era ciencia y corazón. La historia empezó aquí mismo, aunque el invasor no pida perdón. Sembramos tiempo en el cielo cuando el mundo no sabía contar. El cero nació en la selva, el maíz nos enseñó a pensar. Calendarios y medicina, ciudades frente al sol. No era mito ni leyenda, era pueblo, era voz. No fue descubrimiento, fue invasión. No fue silencio, fue opresión. Antes del mapa, antes de ti, había pueblos completos que no vas a entender. No éramos pasado, somos raíz, aunque nos llamen historia, seguimos aquí. Desde el barro del origen hasta el jaguar ancestral, desde la selva profunda hasta el águila solar, ciudades que eran mundos cuando Europa se partió, capitales que flotaban mientras el viejo mundo ardió. En la montaña aprendimos a vivir sin dominar, sin rueda y sin bestias, pero sabiendo gobernar. Caminos y comunidad, trabajo como misión. El poder no era conquista, era responsabilidad. No fue progreso, fue despojo. No fue fe, fue antojo. Antes del mapa, antes de ti, había pueblos completos que no vas a entender. No éramos pasado, somos raíz, aunque nos llamen historia, seguimos aquí. Hey. 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 Quemaron nombres, vendieron memoria, alzaron fronteras sobre nuestra historia. Nos dijeron atraso para robarnos la voz, civilización a balazos y la fe pa'l control. Pero la tierra recuerda, la raíz no se rinde, aunque cambien las banderas, la herida no se extingue. De norte a sur somos la misma raíz, la misma herida que se niega a morir. De norte a sur nadie sobra aquí, Latinoamérica sigue y no va a pedir permiso.
Que me devuelva la tierra que me han quitado los de arriba, porque es lo único que tengo, caramba, la tierra mía, señores, miren que la he trabajado, pa' que vengan a sentarse a repartirla en pedazos, para el que no sabe, semilla, que tiene cabeza de oro y veneno entre las costillas, porque traga pavimento y cada que puede baila encima de mis muertos. Que me devuelvan la tierra que me han quitado los de arriba, porque es lo único que tengo, caramba, la tierra mía, porque es lo único que tengo, caramba, la tierra mía, porque es lo único que tengo, caramba, la tierra mía, porque es lo único que tengo. Caramba, la tierra mía. Vamos a liberar la tierra que nos quitó el de allá arriba, porque es lo único que tenemos, caramba, la tierra nuestra, porque es lo único que tenemos, caramba, la tierra nuestra, porque es lo único que tenemos, caramba, la tierra nuestra, porque es lo único que tenemos, caramba, la tierra nuestra, porque es lo único que tenemos, caramba, la tierra nuestra, porque es lo único que tenemos, caramba, la tierra nuestra. Vamos a liberarla, 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 vamos a liberarla.
Si preguntan quién soy, qué llevo, a dónde voy,
De Tierra Santa,
soy de donde nací, donde voy a morir.
mi Tierra Santa.
Ey. Yo soy la tierra, la sangre, los sueños, las ganas, el hambre, la luz en los ojos de mi santa madre. Hecho de barro, de ramas, de viento, de hueche de carne, el sol cae en mi brazo por la tarde. Si preguntan quién soy mi tierra, curtida de gobierno, de estafa, de guerra. Soy el hornero mostrando la sala, la vida, la muerte, la pluma y la bala. La soledad del rico, el sueño del pobre. La verdad es que el gobierno no se esconde. Las huellas perdidas, el cuándo y el dónde. Ninguna dictadura va a poder borrar mi nombre. Porque al futuro vengo de Tierra Santa. Latinoamericano llora, canta. Tengo la sonrisa celeste y blanca. Si subo la mirada, la luna se levanta. Yo voy al futuro, vengo de Tierra Santa. Latinoamericano llora, canta. Tengo una sonrisa celeste y blanca. Si subo la mirada, la luna se levanta. Mi cicatriz, mi historia, mi fama, mi gloria. Mi pena por panas desaparecido, memoria. Va por los guachos, carnales, puñetas, gurises, chapales. Al mundo le tiembla el piso por la euforia. Busco la paz en Bolivia, las calles de Chile. Me busco en invierno el aguardiente de Colombia. Vengo del barrio del tango y llego al meridiano para borrar con la mano la línea divisoria. Si preguntan quién soy, que llevo a donde voy, soy de Tierra Santa. Soy de donde nací, donde voy a morir, mi Tierra Santa. Si preguntan quién soy, que llevo a donde voy, soy de Tierra Santa. Soy de donde nací, donde voy a morir, mi Tierra Santa. Yo vine al mundo a defender mi tierra, soy el salvador pacífico en la guerra, me voy a morir luchando. Estoy firme como un venezolano, soy Atacama, Guaraní, Cochabamba, Tucano. Si quieren tirarme el país, lo levantamos. Los indios construimos los imperios con las manos. Voy al futuro, vengo con mis hermanos, de diferentes padres pero no nos separamos. Soy el fuego del Caribe y un guerrero peruano. Le doy gracias a Brasil por el aire que respiramos. A veces pierdo, a veces gano, pero no es en vano morirme por la tierra que amo. Y si los de afuera preguntan cómo me llamo, mi nombre es latino y mi apellido americano. Si preguntan quién soy, que llevo a donde voy, soy de Tierra Santa. Soy de donde nací, donde voy a morir, mi Tierra Santa. Si preguntan quién soy, que llevo a donde voy, soy de Tierra Santa. Soy de donde nací, donde voy a morir, mi Tierra Santa.
Mis cicatrices, mi historia, mi fama, mi gloria, mi pena por panas desaparecidos, memoria.
Yo, 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 yo. Las líneas que parten el mundo. Yo, el meridiano.
Que sepa el mundo que soy de orgullo moreno. Ande donde ande, no olvido de dónde vengo. Traigo la sangre de un indio todoterreno. En fuego como un 10 son los pies de Cuauhtémoc. Que sepa el mundo que soy de orgullo moreno. Ande donde ande, no olvido de dónde vengo. Traigo la sangre de un indio todoterreno. En fuego como un 10 son los pies de Cuauhtémoc.
En una simple frase te explicaré cómo es mi gente. Si maltratas a un carnal, te devora la serpiente. Emplumada, va picada, desquiciada el águila real. Le arrancará la cabeza a quien dañó su nopal.
Somos un ejército cautivo esperando la señal pa' comerme al enemigo. Huitzilopochtli, dime mes y rívalo amigo, que del ejército mexica tus guerreros siguen vivos.
Soy un monstruo con la pluma, mis rimas envenenadas. Soy me llaman Quetzalcóatl, soy la serpiente emplumada. Dueño de la tempestad y del tempo está muy claro. Un diluvio de verdad, en la instrumental soy Tlaloc.
Certero en mi disparo, y Luis Caminas, el flechador del cielo, pero con rimas. Cultura de mi tierra que nunca se acaba, con águilas y estrellas que vuelan desde las aguas. Que sepa el mundo que soy de orgullo moreno. Ande donde ande, no olvido de dónde vengo. Traigo la sangre de un indio todoterreno. En fuego como un 10 son los pies de Cuauhtémoc. Que sepa el mundo que soy de orgullo moreno. Ande donde ande, no olvido de dónde vengo. Traigo la sangre de un indio todoterreno. En fuego como un 10 son los pies de Cuauhtémoc.
Como aquí, bro, te juro no existen dos. Si voy a creer en alguien, solo va a ser en mi Dios. Yo me encomiendo a mi madre, que me cuida y me protege en tierras. Amor de tonas y claro, sí, amor de mi madre tierra.
El que nunca falla, el de sangre maya, el que va dejando huellas al que buscan y no hallan, el que da la talla, el que triunfa y calla, al que copian y se basan, soy el calendario maya. Que sepa el mundo que soy de orgullo moreno. Ande donde ande, no olvido de dónde vengo. Traigo la sangre de un indio todoterreno. En fuego como un 10 son los pies de Cuauhtémoc. Que sepa el mundo que soy de orgullo moreno. Ande donde ande, no olvido de dónde vengo. Traigo la sangre de un indio todoterreno. En fuego como un 10 son los pies de Cuauhtémoc.
Yo soy guerrero de orgullo moreno. Mis dioses son verdaderos. La Cozontli es el que cuida mis caminos y senderos.
Mi tierra pinta paisajes de autor, la naturaleza es una obra de amor donde el artista se expresa. Mira y aprecia el arte de Xochipilli, mi diosa de la belleza.
La guerra, el arte tienen cercanos roces. Netzahualcóyotl, rey con tintes de dioses. Un guerrero, poeta y muy pocos lo conocen. Hoy te lo recuerdo yo, el Sensontle y 400 voces.
Guerreros y leyendas que la historia a veces calla. Dioses de un ayer, de un hoy y de un mañana. Yo me encomiendo a Cuauhtémoc y Pachita es quien me sana. En mi sangre sigue viva la cultura mexicana. Que sepa el mundo que soy de orgullo moreno. Ande donde ande, no olvido de dónde vengo. Traigo la sangre de un indio todoterreno. En fuego como un 10 son los pies de Cuauhtémoc. Que sepa el mundo que soy de orgullo moreno. Ande donde ande, no olvido de dónde vengo. Traigo la sangre de un indio todoterreno. En fuego como un 10 son los pies de Cuauhtémoc.
Ical, hijo, abre los ojos. Tu cuerpo se queda con nosotros, pero tu espíritu debe seguir. Busca la luz. Aléjate de las sombras. Deja que nuestro dolor sea tu fuerza. Desde aquí iluminamos tu camino. Lucha como nosotros ante esta pena tan grande. Yo soy tú. Tú eres yo. La muerte que hoy nos separa Mañana volverá a unirnos. Eres libre, hijo.